Good afternoon to all of you, and welcome to our hybrid seminar webinar about the opportunities in the Hainan Free Trade Zone. Welcome to the guests that are here offline, and also to the people connected from Europe that are currently more than 60. The seminar today aims at exploring the opportunities in the Hainan as a growing free trade zone and the rule of the policy of Hainan. Let me first introduce you briefly the project of the EU SME Centre. So today the seminar is co-organized by the EU SME Centre and the China-Italy Chamber of Commerce. The EU SME Centre is a project funded by the European funds that is running since 2010. And since October 2020, October 2020, the China-Italy Chamber of Commerce is the leading partner of the consortium. USB Centre is also an official member of European Enterprise Network and is partnered with more than 270 government agencies and business support organizations, both in Europe and in China. So mainly, the USME Centre offers services in 4 areas. The first one is a knowledge center, the second one is advice center, then we have a training center, and finally the SME advocacy platform. The agenda of today, of today's event, will open with the institutional remarks by Mr. Kong Chi-jun, Deputy Director General of Hainan Provincial Bureau of Economic Development, Ms. Consul General of Italy in Guangzhou, Lucia Pasqualini, Chairman of China-Italy Chamber of Commerce, Mr. Paolo Bazzoni. We will then proceed with an overview of what the opportunities of foreign companies in the free trade zone, and then our speakers will support us in understanding more about the insights of and opportunities in Hainan Free Trade Zone. Mr. Vincenzo Morano, Mr. Xu Zhongliang, and Mr. Qin Bo. So let's start the institutional greetings part with a video coming from Hainan Provincial Bureau. Please play the video.
On June 1st, 2020, the CPC Central Committee of the State Council of China issued a master plan for the construction of Hainan Free Trade Port. Hainan Island, with a land area of 33,900 square kilometers, this is the opening its arm to the rest of the world as the world's largest free trade port. By 2025, the policy system of Hainan Free Trade Port prioritizing trade and investment liberalization and facilitation will have initially taken shape. By 2035, Hainan will be forged into a new highland in China featuring an open economy. By the middle of the 21st century, Hainan will build itself into a high-level free trade port with relatively strong international influence. Hainan Island, at the forefront of China's reform in opening up, is developed to be a special area for customs supervision, which implements the tax system of zero tariffs, low tax rates, and simplified taxation to facilitate trade and investment liberalization, cross-border capital flow, entry and exit of people, transportation, and a safe and orderly flow of data. Here, the opening up policy will be implemented in the first line, which means Hainan Free Trade Port will allow free entry and exit for most of the goods to be traded with other countries in regions outside Chinese mainland and exempt imports from tariffs. Control measures will be carried out at the second line, with a new management model to be implemented between the Hainan Free Trade Port and the rest of Chinese mainland. On June 3rd, 2020, Haikou founded Port Area to the lead to implement the import and export management system featuring free flow at the first line and efficient control at the second line. On the same day, 11 key industrial parks of the Hainan Free Trade Port were simultaneously inaugurated with joint initial policies of the Free Trade Port in early harvests. Here, the annual offshore duty-free shopping quota had been lifted to 100,000 yuan per person, a new favorable policy that has been officially launched on July 1st, 2020. At the same time, the categories of the offshore duty-free goods has been increased from 38 to 45. Here in Hainan, the maximum personal income tax for eligible talents is 15%. And for encouraged enterprises, the corporate income tax is 15%. For tourism, modern services, and high-tech industry enterprises, the corporate tax on income acquired from your newly added foreign direct investment before 2025 is exempted. Hainan provides universal access to non-prohibited sectors, implements the pre-establishment national treatment plus an active list management system, has greatly reduced the number of prohibitions and restrictions. Hainan intends to establish a free trade port legal system underpinned by Hainan Free Trade Port law and mainly composed of local regulations and commercial dispute resolution mechanisms. Supported by the vast Chinese domestic market, Hainan stands ready to seize the precious opportunity brought about by the new round of global technological revolution and industrial transformation. This is Hainan, where spreading its wings to soar. Here is Hainan, a promised land. This opportunity for all kinds of talents and investors. Looking forward to meeting you. Hainan Free Trade Port.
And now I welcome on stage Mr. Gong Qijun, Deputy Director General of Hainan Provincial Bureau of Economic Development. Please welcome, join me on stage.
Thank you so much. Respected Mrs. Lucia Lasky-Lini, Mr. Paula Mazzoni, Mrs. Gila Alarati, and dear friends, good afternoon. It's a great pleasure for me to meet you in Hainan. First of all, I would like to express my sincere thanks to you for your attention to the China international consumer product sector. On June 1st, 2020, the Chinese central government officially released the master plan for the construction of Hainan Free Trade Port, marking that initiation of Hainan Free Trade Port. Hainan Free Trade Port implements a special preferential policy framework and opening arrangements featuring zero tariff, low tax rates, simplified tax system, and much more liberalization, which would enable more new opportunities for trade and investments. Now, Hainan is promoting the process of building a comprehensively deepened reform and opening up pilot area. The national level pilot zone for the International Tourism and Consumption Center and the service guarantee zone for national major strategic projects. And the tourism, modern service industry, and high-tech industry are the three encouraged industries in Hainan Free Trade Port. Furthermore, the China International Consumer Products Expo aims to build an ideal platform for high-end consumer products and world-class brands entering China market. I believe through today's discussion, we will find more opportunities in investing in Hainan, the largest free trade port in the world. Hope that more and more Italian entrepreneurs will visit Hainan and set up their businesses in the future. Wish today's forum a complete success. Thank you.
Many thanks to Mr. Gong. Now I'm honored to welcome on stage the Consul General of Italy in Guangzhou, Ms. Lucia Pasqualini.
Thank you, Julia. Thank you very much, Mr. Gong, for being here today with us. This is a great pleasure for us. Thank you, Mr. President Paolo Bazzoni, for organizing this seminar. So I'm very pleased to participate in the Consumer Products Fair. There was a lot of attention on it. Since when the Free Trade Port was announced, everybody was curious to see how this blueprint would develop. And I would like to congratulate for what you did. It's an amazing fair. I visited many fairs over the years in China, and this is absolutely gorgeous. And Italy must be here. We attended the seminar about consumption before with the participation of the government together with President Bazzoni. And yeah, we were discussing coming here that it's absolutely urgent to be part of this project. So it's already here. We've been talking about the facilitations deriving from the Free Trade Port. I believe that many Italian companies are already very much involved on that. So over the last year also, because of the COVID, many times and all the experts, but mainly the mainland Chinese came to Hainan. It's the hit destination of China. So, and the retailers are doing very, very well. Double-digit growth. So I think Hainan has a great potential. It's on a good direction, and Italy want to be part of this project and contribute as the governor and the other panelists were just saying before. This is an opportunity for dual circulation economy, and the fair proves to all of us there are a lot of opportunities. So I'm sure that the seminar will be very much interested for all the participants, and looking forward to being back next year. So enjoy the seminar.
Thanks to the Consul General Pasqualini, and now is the turn of our chairman, Mr. Paolo Bazzoni.
Good afternoon, everybody. And Mr. Gong, thank you. It's an honor to have you here. Our Consul General, Mrs. Lucia Pasqualini, thank you for the support and for the present. All the attendees, the companies, our board members in the South, and the panelists and all the attendees also, not only offline, but online. Hainan International Consumer Products Expo. We are here as the Italian Chamber of Commerce and also together with the Consul General to initiate a path together, okay, to be present on this important territory, as always, in the mission of the Italian Chamber of Commerce. Everything in country comes from the territory, and we have to detect all the opportunities. China is investing and asking more quality today. And the quality retail and the quality travel retail is positioning Hainan on the leading role in the world. Of course, China came out from the pandemic last year in a successful way, and now we are basically on a COVID-free area. And this expo is a sign to demonstrate how this area can be full of opportunities for our company. I said China is asking and is investing in quality. Italy means quality. In all the activities we perform in industry, not only industrial, manufacturing components, automotive, but in what we call quality retail, fashion, furniture, design, lifestyle, food and beverage, we are quality provider. So it's important to tackle and match this demand that has come up from the territory in order to give more opportunity, more value to China and more opportunity to our company. The Hainan Free Trade Port is a platform, and today this seminar is focused to inform to our members and to the companies what does it mean, because everybody are talking, everybody are reading, but let's do something concrete in order to give pills of information. And then after that, the Italian Chamber of Commerce, together with the institution, are here to escort and support our companies in this path, as always, because this is our mission. So thank you very much to be here, and I'm very thank you to the organizer, to the people that are dealing with this seminar, okay, especially for the team, also for the EU SME Centre that is collaborating with the Italian Chamber of Commerce. And have a fruitful seminar, and we are here to catch the opportunities together. Thank you.
Many thanks to the Chairman Bazzoni. I would like to remind you that if you have any question and you are here with us in the room, you can raise your hand at the end of the event. If you are connected remotely, you can use and press the button of Q&A in the Zoom platform. And now, in the framework of China International Consumer Product Expo in Haikou, let's deep dive into the webinar's topic, opportunities in the Hainan Free Trade Zone. I would like to ask Mr. Vincenzo Morano to join me on stage. Vincenzo Morano is the founder and executive director of Insider China and also a member of China-Italy Chamber of Commerce Logistics Working Group.
Thank you, Julia. Thank you, everyone, for asking General Counsel, our President, Mr. Bazzoni, to be here, and of course, the EU SME Centre. Do I move forward the slide? No. Today we focus on what is the Hainan Free Trade Port projects, and this slide we will go through what is now Hainan, segment the projects, and we will look in short what are the projects. Before that, allow me to explain a few words about the Logistics Working Group, which is part of the Italian Chamber of Commerce, which has been has been newly reestablished in 2018. We count around 12 members coming from the legal logistics service and the border who came with an active participation to work as a think tank inside the international commerce, the part of Buddhist logistics system in China. Myself, as Julia says, José Morano, founder executive director of Untitled Chapter. Untitled Chapter is a platform, this boutique company which really provides services into macro area, which is the communication, digital marketing, and helping small enterprises get inside China and trying to reduce the cultural gap between the two players, offering a full service of supply chain assistance inside China. Talking about Hainan, let's say that what is Hainan now? To better understand the situation of Hainan now, I tried to have an overlook of the last 3 years, 2018 to 2020, of what was in its slide. To do that, since I'm Italian and work mainly with Italians, I focused on the exchange in volume of the products between Italy and China through the Hainan province. Next one. We can see that from 2018 to 2020, we have a growing volume of goods coming into China through the Hainan province. And if we take as an example the first 10 category HS codes in the custom, we see that mostly is representative of the made in Italy. So it's jewelry, leather products, consumer goods itself, footwear, and so on to sunglasses. Next slide. I will not spend too much time on this because I'm boring and I'm already boring myself. So we see that we had a good 2018. We had in most focus on jewelry and leather products. Then 2019 is respect the growth of this category, and 2020 is, as you will see, has been even better. If we go to the variation, here we can see on value that from 2018 to 2019 we have like a steady growth, but except the pandemic situation, maybe because of the pandemic situation, on 2020 we doubled the imports through Hainan in value. Next slide. The variation between 2020 and 2019, most of the category that we get as a sample, they had a growth. Just few of them as a reduction. But in the overall, we can consider it is like a good start of this new era of Hainan. Next. So timeline and genesis of Hainan. We saw already in the video, the speaker before me already anticipated. We can mark 4 main dates for the project, which is 2018, when the project has been launched, 2020, when the master plan has been published, and then 2025, when the zero tariff regime will come in force. 2015 is the landing date of this amazing project. The next slide. We could consider to divide this timeline in 3 main stages. On the first stage between 2020 to 2025, we see that there is already kind of zero tariff policies for a certain number of categories of products that are imported to Hainan, which are mainly component machinery or yachts or vehicles that are going to be used inside Hainan. Next slide. As for 2025, the zero tariff regime will refer to a wider range of products and will actually come in place the exception of VAT consumption tax for many other SKUs. 2050, which will be the landing date of this project, we'll see the total transformation of Hainan on free trade ports. That allow me to say is, from my point of view, one of the aims of the project is to positioning Hainan as an important player on the added value chain for high-tech industry, which means if a product gets inside Hainan, it's a tariff, and then you have an added value on this value chain, 30% or more, it will get inside China with the zero tariff regime. Here we have benchmarks of other comparing Hainan with other area of the same kind in China and around the world, and we can clearly see that beside the size of Hainan, which is like bigger than all the 20 free trade zones around China put together as extension. The policy of and the implementation place her in a better position than Hong Kong right now. So Hainan is not only the Hainan that we know. I was in Hainan the first time in 2008. Luckily, in the year we developed more cooperation with local partners. And today I'm here because one of our brands is inside the consumer. It will actually, the plan of the free trade port will actually put together several aspects of the same project, which will refer to goods, to investments, and to people. Just to say a few things. We returned the video that the project aimed to implement a first line and second line of controls by the customs. We can is already a fact that from 2017 there's been an overall custom clearance time reduction in entry and exits of Russia by 56% on the entry and 98% on exit, which clearly means that it is a Hainan Free Trade Port can be used and could be used in the future as the hub to in and out the Asian markets, and of course to the Chinese market too. Next slide. But I found in this quote from Mr. Fu Shanchao a clear example and clarification of this the project itself. Stipulation on trade, investment, taxation, environmental protection, and other sectors which are still important focus to within and free trade ports. Which why is because it is not only about the movement of the goods, and it's also about the next one. The high value supply chain, the liberalization and implementation of foreign investment, which at the moment are regulated by a negative list. But as for the publishing of last February, that's been reduced from 122 sectors to 63. Then the implementation of the annual tax-free quota, which went from 30,000 per capita to 100,000 per capita, which of course will increase the power of spending of the consumer in the area. And also the goods has to be expanded from 38 to 45 items. The last but not least is the vehicles. It's been already launched before the pandemic, the 30 days visa waiver, which will allow people and tourists to travel into Hainan without the necessity of visa. It's required at the moment that the visa is to be applied through a local agency, but this can implement the operation between foreigner tourism trade operator and local trade operator in the future. That's all.
Thank you, Vincenzo, for the interesting overview about this promising land. And now I kindly ask to the expert from Haikou law firm, senior partner and Italy managing director from Haikou law firm, Mr. Xu Zhongliang. It will be followed by his colleague, senior partner of Haikou law firm, Haikou branch, Mr. Qin Bo, that will deliver his speech online. Please join me on stage.
Gentlemen and ladies, good afternoon. Thank you, Mr. Gong. Thank you for Mr. Asli. My Chinese name is Xu Zhongliang, but I have an Italian name, Lorenzo. That's a very famous name in Italy. And it's an honor for me that I should share my personal opinion about the Hainan Free Trade Port here as a Chinese lawyer. When I'm in Milano, I always told my Italian friend that maybe I'm the first Chinese lawyer go to Europe and work there and work in Chinese too. Okay, let's start. Please slide there. Okay, one national strategy, as you know, the construction of Hainan Free Trade Port is a national strategy of China. At the 30th anniversary conference of the establishment of Hainan province on April 13, 2018, Chinese President Xi Jinping announced that the administration had consented to the building of a Hainan Free Trade Road across Hainan Island, and the administration will provide support for Hainan to explore and phase in policies and necessary institutional framework on building of free trade port. This is a major policy made by the central government after in-depth research for consideration and rational planning, while taking into account the needs of both domestic and international economic growth. As my personal opinion, Hainan Free Trade Port strategy symbolizes that Chinese economy will become more open and more confident. The next one. One master plan on June 1, 2020. The State Council officially declared the master plan for the construction of Hainan Free Trade Port, which specifies the institutional design and phased arrangement for the construction of Hainan Free Trade Port. At present, some policy written in the master plan have come true, such as this one. One, Hainan Model Comprehensive Transportation System Plan, declared by the central government on September 29, 2020. Two, special management measures for foreign investment access in Hainan Free Trade Port. This is an negative list. Declared by the Ministry of Commerce on December 31, 2023, the measures to relax mass access of Hainan Free Trade Port. 4. Hainan Free Trade Port law. This is very important and from lawyers' opinion. The next one. Trade liberalization and facilitation. Today, I will mainly talk about the trade topic of Hainan Free Trade Port, and my colleague Qin Bo will talk about other topics of it. By the 2025, as a whole national, Hainan would be built into special areas of customers supervision. With regard to trade in goods, Hainan will implement a liberalization and facilitation system with zero tariff as a basic features. With regard to trade in services, Hainan will implement policies and measures to promote liberalization and facilitation with the basic features of net flows in and net into business. Next one. To better illustrate, let me introduce three concepts: frontline liberalization, second-line control, freedom, and peace. And for the frontline liberalization, this line will establish between the Hainan Free Trade Port and other countries and regions outside the territory of China. And on the front line, the government will implement high-level liberalization, and there will be two negative lists. One is import goods negative list, another is customs duties negative list. For the import goods negative list, in order to strengthen the safety access, supervision, and fulfill the obligation of international treaties, a list of goods and articles that are prohibited or restricted in the import will be formulated on the front line. The goods and articles outside the list could be transported across the front line freely. For the customs duties negative list, a list of import dutable goods will be formulated in the Hainan Free Trade Port. For the goods outside the list across the front line entering Hainan Free Trade Port, the customs duty are free. Goods and articles crossing the front line departing from Hainan Free Trade Port to the other country are subject to export administration, but the customer's supervision will become most convenient and efficient in the world. The goods shipped by the there's a picture before one. The last one. The goods shipped by combined transport bills of lading going across France land are free from duty and inspection. The next one, please. Okay, this is the second line control concept. And this line will establish between the Hainan Free Trade Port and other areas within Chinese mainland. And the goods from Hainan Free Trade Port crossing the second line into the mainland of China need to pay customs duties and other import taxes as the normal imports goods importing into China. But for the goods produced by encouraged enterprises in Hainan Free Trade Port, if not made of imported materials or made of imported materials, but the added value is over 30% of the product, the import customs duty will be free. Transport vehicles across the second line from Hainan to Chinese mainland will apply simplified import management. Please. Okay. Goods, articles, and transport vehicles crossing the second line from the mainland into Hainan will apply the domestic port management. Please. Okay. Mainland goods transport to the occupied place of the mainland, where Hainan, when crossing the second line 2 times, they needed to go through customs declaration procedure. But the goods should be loaded and unloaded in the customer's supervised places in Hainan. Please. Freedom on the island. Okay, the company inside the Hainan island will enjoy long intervention, efficient supervision, and for the goods that are shipped from one country to another country, reloaded and assembled in Hainan. The customer's procedure will be simplified, and there will be low storage period for the goods, and you can choose where to. You can choose the storage place. For the zero tariff goods, there will be no routine supervision. Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Okay. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for the China-Italy Chamber. Welcome to Hainan. It's my great honor to have the opportunity to making this presentation. I'm Qin Bo, a senior partner of Inc. law firm Haikou office. Thank you for Mr. Vincent Zhou and my colleague lawyer Xu is wonderful speeches. Now, I want to ask you a question. What are you interested in Hainan exposition? Are new products from each country full of beautiful things and visitor eyes and really open your eyes? I guess that you pay more attention to benefit from Hainan Free Trade Port. Then, what I shall be speaking today is to make a supplement of the beneficial policy of Hainan FTP. As a local lawyer, and it will be divided into 4 parts, which are tax, finance, industry, and law. Firstly, let's start with tax. According to the overall plan for the construction of Hainan FTP, for encouraged industry, enterprises that are registered in Hainan FTP and have a practical operational record are entitled to the reduced corporate tax rate of 15%. Well, the term enterprises encourage industries, as mentioned in the clause, refers to enterprises whose main business are described and included in the catalog of the encouraged industry of Hainan FTP. And the major business income accounts for more than 60% of the total income. As for the term practical operation, means the management body of an enterprise set up in Hainan FTP that actually performs management functions and carries out substantial and comprehensive management and control over production and operation, personnel, accounting, and property affairs. There are 3 types of catalogs of encouraged industries, which covering all of the specific sectors in the 3 pillar industries of tourism, modern service, and high technology. For qualified enterprises with their headquarters based in Hainan FTP, The 15% tax rate is applicable only to the income of their headquarters and branches in the Hainan FTP. For enterprises whose headquarters are outside of the Hainan FTP, the 15% tax rate is applicable only to the income of the qualified branches set in Hainan FTP. In addition, there are also beneficial policy for individuals. Please, next one. Individuals. Yeah. Thank you. Domestic and overseas qualified high-end talents and highly demanded talents can enjoy a preferential personal income tax rate of the 15% in Hainan FTP. The overall plan for the construction of Hainan FTP provides that for the high-end and urgently needed talents working in Hainan FTP before 2025, the person of their personnel income with the actual tax burden exceeding 50% will be exempted from tax. After 2025, individuals who have aggregately stayed in the Hainan FTP for 183 days during a tax year may receive reduced progressive individual income tax rate of 3%, 10%, and 15% for comprehensive income and operation income derived from the Hainan FTP. The second, finance. Please, yeah. Let's talk about the finance policy, which refers to the FT account. Hainan Free Trade account refers to the local and the foreign currency accounts opened by financial institutions in Hainan province to satisfy customers' needs in a sub-account accounting unit. According to the principle of the first line convenience and the second line management, it standardized the management of the account revenue and expenditure. Through the FT account, enterprises have a convenient channel to transfer funds with foreign countries, which not only makes it convenient for enterprises to connect the domestic market with the international market, but also to choose the exchange rate and interest rate in the domestic and the foreign capital markets. RMB offshore exchange rate is applicable to the FT account, and the RMB onshore exchange rate is applicable to domestic settlement account. Customers can choose to purchase and settle foreign exchange in FT account or domestic settlement account. The third, industry. Let's turn to the third part, the industry. According to China-Italy Chamber's requirement, let's point to the logistics issue directly, which we all concerned about. We have measures for the administration of zero tariff imported means of transport on the yard of Hainan FTP. And there are three types of transportation, include by ship, land, and air. Firstly, let's talk about transport by ship. The overall plan declares it clearly that Hainan takes China Yangpu port as its port of the registry. Ships built within the territory registered in China Yangpu port and engaged in international transportation shall be deemed to be exported and given export tax rebate directly. For domestic ships, which engage in domestic and foreign trade with the Yangpu port, as the transit port are allowed to add oil required by this voyage. Also, the export tax rebate policy shall be implemented for the local oil which is needed for this voyage. In addition, it abolished the restriction on the proportion of foreign shares of subject of ship registration. In other words, Italian enterprises and Chinese enterprises could buy ships together and enjoy the relevant tax policies. Secondly, let's point to by land. Hainan provides greater preferential tax policy for enterprises engaged in transportation and tourism, which registered in Hainan FTP. To encourage development of these enterprises can purchase the zero tariff cars to run their business and save a lot of cost. Thirdly, let's talk about transport by air. We got convenient policy for international air transport. For example, on March 17th, Hainan Airline Cargo and DPD Cargo have joined to carry out the annual scheduled air cargo charter project from Haikou to Paris. It is reported that this will be the first regular intercontinental cargo flight opened in Hainan. Fourth, lastly, let's turn to the law. First of all, it is legislation issue. There is a Hainan Free Trade Port law, which is under consideration by Standing Committee of the National People's Congress as a legal basis. Then, in judicial aspects, we have Hainan Foreign Related Civil and Commercial Courts and Intellectual Property Courts of Hainan FTP, which are established in last year. Additionally, a new kind of dispute resolution was applied in Hainan, which is alternative dispute resolution, so that the Hainan International Arbitration Court and International Commercial Mediation Center was born in response. As we can see, obviously, only by forming a perfect legal system can foreign enterprises invest and develop in Hainan FTP freely. Well, finally, if you are interested in investing in Hainan FTP, Hainan welcomes you with open arms. That's all. Thank you for listening.
our speakers. Now we can start with a Q&A session. I kindly ask if anybody here in the room has any question raised. Okay, Mr. Guelfo, the Vice Chairman of Hainan Chamber of Commerce in Guangzhou, has a question.
I have a couple of questions. The first one is linked to the personal income tax for individuals, linked to the last presentation. To be inside this preferential tax, you need just to be resident in Hainan, or your salary have to come from a company that is in Hainan?
Do you want to address this question to
Mr.
Mr. Bo?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Did I make myself clear?
Mr. Bo, can you hear us?
Eventually, my father can answer.
Oh, in case Lorenzo, can you take the question?
Me?
Yes.
Did you hear my question? I will repeat the question if you want. I say, regarding the preferential income tax, personal income tax I'm talking about, an individual have to be resident in Hainan, or also the salary have to come from a company that is sit in Hainan?
I can't follow you. Pardon?
Can you hear me?
Not very clear. What question?
The question is, a person, an individual, to apply for a reduced personal income tax, it's just enough that is resident in Hainan?
Wait, what?
I work in a company in Shanghai, but I move my house and my family to Hainan, so I take a resident in Hainan. But I still working for a company in Shanghai, so I get my salary from a Shanghai company. Can I have a PIT of 50% or not?
他说我真的听不清。
I can answer this question as I know that as a foreigner, you want to live in Hainan and work here, but you want to get a salary from Shanghai company. Not impossible. Your salary must be here and work here.
So it's linked not to my resident, it's linked to my where company my salary come from. Hainan. So I can live in Shanghai, but my salary come from Hainan.
I think that the answer to it.
Okay, I think you can work here and you can 1 week, 7 days, maybe you can 2 days live in Shanghai, 5 days live in Haikou.
I think that I can answer to the question. It's basically based on where you are tax residents. In the beginning, if you spend over 180 days in a year in Hainan, you will be a contributor, tax residents in Hainan. And if you are eligible to be a talent for the procedures, you can enjoy the reduction. Otherwise, no.
Thank you. Thank you.
Any other question?
I also have a second question. I said a different question for a company. I heard in the presentation about the front line and the front line. So it was very clear that if I import something in Hainan and I use in Hainan, this is free tax. But if I want them to move this material, this product in the mainland China, I have to do another custom. But you were talking also about the okay, so I can import something in Hainan, adding a 30% of value in Hainan, and then exporting mainland and becoming like free tax, correct?
I would say that you can set up a company in Haikou and you live in Shanghai, work in Shanghai, no problem. 7 days of a week, lived in Shanghai, no problem. I correct it. But your tax, your personal tax must apply to something Haikou.
Also paid from company 在海南。
You are free.
我知道他说的意思，嗯。Okay, can I explain it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Please.
I just checked the information about the question. You know, according to the overall of the Hainan FTP, before 2025, there's no limitation for high-end and high talent and the foreigners. But according to the overall Hainan FTP, you have to stay in Hainan over 183 days a year. But this policy, according my information from the government, Hainan government now negotiation with the minister, the state minister, maybe in 2025, this policy must be adjusted for high-end talent and urgent talent and some high talent foreigners. Last month, we introduced a company to set up a company in Hainan. There are the same problem for such as a CEO. He can't stay Hainan every day. He need a business travel all the world. So I talk about this question with the Hainan government. They are researching this problem, and they gave a solution. If you are a high talent, urgently needed the talent, the Hainan government will give a special treatment for that. But you know, the overall plan is not changed, not till now. So I can give you the very clear solution, but we believe Hainan has the beneficial policy to attract high talent foreigners to invest in Hainan. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, we can then give the space for two more questions. Anybody here from the audience? Then I have some question from the online audience, and it's for Mr. Morano. How do you see the implementation of duty-free business and incoming tourism in Hainan?
Thank you for the question. It's a nice one. I will try to answer to your question, giving the data about what it was the duty-free shopping on 2020, which has reached 27 billion yuan and double the amount of 2019. So obviously the way and the strategy of the plan is to implement the duty-free. As for the tourism, we need to wait after the pandemic, but the idea is to have a free traveling to the islands. And if I may give a case history on the duty-free, just very honored and happy that we achieve a cooperation with one of the brands that we represent with a big player in the duty-free industry in Hainan, and we will be in the duty-free from yesterday on.
Very good. It's good to hear that we have a positive, successful case to share. Since we are approaching the end of the webinar, we have several questions from the audience online, but they are telling me that all the questions will be answered online later at the end of the seminar. Here, projected, you can see the QR code of the EU SME Centre survey. I kindly ask you to fill it in and send it back to the EU SME Centre staff. Then I would like to tell you that all the PPT used in the seminar will be shared to all participants, both online, both offline. So then I thank you all for your attention. Looking forward to see you at our next seminar. Thanks.